Hey students, thanks for taking my class. My name is Mr. Jackson and I'm going to be your teacher for the next couple lectures. So today we're going to be talking about a very important scientist who contributed a lot to the world, and as you've probably guessed by the title of this presentation, this is going to be none other than Ben Franklin. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what? Ben Franklin was a scientist? Well, he was. Yeah. He was actually what's known as a polymath, which is someone who knows a lot about a lot of different kinds of subjects. But yeah, today we're just going to talk about who he was, his background, his education, and in the next lecture, we're going to delve a little bit more into the actual science that he studied. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so first off, let's talk about his education. So funny thing about Ben Franklin, he had a pretty crazy life. For one thing, he never really got formal education. The most he did was 2 years of well, I guess you could call it it was basically his equivalent of elementary school back in the day. But he basically only had 2 years of formal schooling, and he didn't even graduate. He quit, and basically everything he learned after that was from just reading books and picking up things like along the way. So that was kind of cool. Shows you don't need to necessarily go to school to become smart, though I recommend you do it because school can be pretty important. And yeah, when he was 12, actually, he began an apprenticeship working for his older brother who printed newspapers. And this was kind of the time in his life where he really discovered how much he loved writing. And he actually published a bunch of different um, letters and different columns in the newspaper under a fake name, which was, I believe, Silence Dogood. And he became really popular just by his writing style and the different things he talked about. It was just something he picked up a knack for, and it was really regarded positively by a lot of different people. Um, oh, let's not go there yet. Yeah, and at age around 17, he actually ran away from his home, which was kind of unheard of back in the day, and went to basically start his own printing business and his own printing newspaper business. And eventually he did. And eventually it became really successful. However, it was at this point in his life that he decided, hey, writing newspapers isn't enough. I need to do something else. I want to learn more things. And so that is when he kind of introduced himself to the field of science. Woo! Super cool. A lot of you may know his famous kite electricity experiment. Um, and yeah, his findings in electricity actually gave birth to the invention of the lightning rod, which was a really helpful invention back in the day. And he also invented many other things in his life, including bifocals and the Franklin stove. And we'll talk more about his science experiments in the next lecture. But yeah, that's going to do it for this lecture. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about a more in-depth look at electricity in the science behind it that Ben Franklin studied.